to me that the president initially sort of gave diplomacy the good old college try. He, along with the Secretary of War, said publicly that they wanted it to work, but it didn't because the Iranians are not trustworthy or reliable partners. So now they're playing the military card in the hope that will build up enough leverage that maybe they can return to that.
100%. Look, I don't think that there's a lot of fear out there today. And what Iran is trying to do is bet everything on fear because they don't have a military, they don't have an air force, and they definitely don't have a navy. We just saw the United States take out 7 of their ships. That shows you the Strait of Hormuz, that used to be the economic choke point for Iran, no longer exists. Iran is trying to test the United States up into the point of a gray zone, but we actually called them out. We stopped them immediately. President Trump is looking for a way where IRGC or some of the leaders can come together and actually work with us on negotiation. And honestly, if we don't get there, then remember, he made a threat. He meant it. He will make sure they go back to the Stone Ages. And I think that's where we need to be today. We can't continue to push for diplomacy. There's so many other choke points in Iran after we take out their nuclear weapons. And one of them really is looking at their nuclear grid, looking at Card Island and some of those other areas, and then finally getting some of our allies on board, like Saudi Arabia. Some of these Gulf states need to actually come in and say, we want things to change because they're getting attacked too.
I want to turn the tables on you guys for a moment and talk about something completely different while I have you here, because this is another big story that did not get enough coverage today. We want to make sure we get it in. Dr. Oz is going on this Medicare fraud crusade. He says it turns out that the city of LA had a 1,500% increase in hospice providers since 2010. Those providers overbilled Medicare by at least $105 million last year, and 18% of all hospice billing in the entire United States comes from LA County. Julian, does anything I just said shock you?
No, if anything, Julian, it's an understatement. The welfare programs, particularly the health care programs, are built for fraud. I spent a fair amount of time on this when I was staff director of the House Oversight Committee. You have in almost every program, whether it's Obamacare, whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, you have a system that is easily pecked for fraud. And the problem I think that we're having is the Democratic Party right now, my party, is a shrinking party. The working class is abandoning it. So what are the Democrats doing? They're looking to buy as many votes as they can by expanding the welfare state. And that's what we've seen since COVID. Eligibility has expanded, and you're seeing just numerous programs ripped off into the tens and tens of billions of dollars. The Democrats went to war in the shutdown in the fall over health care subsidies for people making as much as $500,000 a year. So it's a welfare state that is continually growing because the Democratic Party is continually shrinking, and as it grows, there's no oversight. So it's very, very vulnerable to fraud into the tens of billions of dollars. Oz is exactly right.
Mehek, what did you make of that news today?
I wasn't surprised at all, and I don't think it's just blue states. It's in states like Ohio. I started working on this back when Nick Shirley started exposing fraud. We have home health care systems.
The daycare centers, right?
Daycares, but also home health care. We had one building with 34 home health care centers getting millions of dollars. And when you knock on doors, most of the individuals don't speak English. Many of the individuals aren't there. They don't even know how home health care works. And now we have exposure of fraud from even the Daily Wire that's come out, and they're looking at billions of dollars. And I can tell you, at least in 2 zip codes, out of the $1.6 billion that we get in the state of Ohio for home health care, 243 million are in 2 zip codes. I mean, at some point, we have to start looking at fraud in every welfare system, and it doesn't matter red or blue states. I think government is complacent in fraud. They just rubber stamp it because it's not their money. And it's high time that we ask for accountability, because my state is a red state, and our governor said fraud is the cost of doing business.